Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at the news and features from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. This week, well, we're at Joint Base McGuire. It's Dick's in Lakehurst, New Jersey, site of the 2014 CISM Military World Championships. The top military wrestlers from 24 different nations were in action, including dozens of Olympic and world medalists. It was the first time the U.S. had hosted the event since 2000, and what an honor it was to have it back on U.S. soil. The first day of competition featured men's and women's freestyle with 8 weight classes up for grabs. The big star for Team USA on day one was two-time world team member and past junior world champ, Sergeant Whitney Condor of the U.S. Army. She won a silver medal at 116. Condor went 3-1 in a 5-athlete round robin, opening up with an 8-1 loss to China's Hu Li before catching fire with 3 straight wins by Tek Fall. First was an 11-0 shutout over Mongolia's star Gan Batar, followed by another big win over Shellen of Germany, 10-0 the score there. In her final bout, she put away Ali of Egypt 10-0 and clinched the silver for Team USA.
I definitely wasn't happy with losing my first match, but I definitely just decided, well, if I lose that one, oh well, I gotta come back and wrestle 3 more matches and win all those.
In men's freestyle, a pair of Americans reached the medal round, both former Division I athletes who have focused primarily on Greco during their time with the military. We start first with First Lieutenant Aaron Khalil of the U.S. Marine Corps. He had 2 wild bouts at 125. He dropped his opener in a seesaw match with Mongolia's Damdinbazar. 9-5 was the score, and it was drawn back into the bronze medal bout when the Mongolia reached the finals. Khalil jumped to an early lead against Commonwealth champion Hussein of Pakistan, but a late flurry by Hussein ended the bout 11-11, and Hussein, well, he was awarded the criteria victory, giving Khalil a 5th place finish.
We usually just do Greco, but I qualified for this back in March, and I made the commitment. I'll be gonna put like 2 months solid into it. I mean, I worked real hard, got my weight down, had to go down a weight class for it, but I was happy to get out here and just to wrestle.
We go to 143. Sergeant Jamil Johnson dominated Sri Lanka's Pereira 16-5 in the opening round. We go to the semifinals. Johnson could not get his offense going there. He dropped a 4-1 decision to Armenia's Sanyoyan. His bronze medal round against Asian junior champ Shagupli of Kazakhstan. Johnson trailed 4-2 at the break, but opened it up in the second to his opponent for a 10-3 win.
Every minute of it was absolutely amazing, in the barracks with all my teammates, and you got the Navy and the Air Force, and we all got to come together, to show what America's about. At the Armed Forces, we're all going against each other, but here we get to come together and just show what America's about together.
Now, 2 members of Team USA Freestyle did not qualify for the medal rounds. PO3 Sheldon Wilder of the U.S. Navy finished 0-2 at 134. Corporal Joseph Foreman of the U.S. Marine Corps went 1-1 at 154. In women's freestyle, Corporal Melissa Apodaca of the U.S. Marines finished 5th after a 0-4 record in a round robin at 127. We talked with Coach Sean Lewis about the first day.
We came up a little short, but it's a learning experience. But today's the first day. We got 3 more days, and we have some heavy hitters tomorrow with Mozafay, Jack Jensen, Randy Miller, Iris Smith. We have some heavy hitters coming up tomorrow, so hopefully we can keep the medal run going and get some more hardware.
Well, next up was day 2 at the CISMs, featuring 8 more weight classes in freestyle and 4 in the women's division, 4 in the men's. It was a big day for Sergeant Randy Miller of the U.S. Army at 152. 2008 bronze medalist went 4-0 in a 5-athlete round robin to win her first World Military Gold Medal. She was also named the Mat.com Wrestler of the Week for her outstanding performance. Here's how she did it. Miller opened with a solid 6-0 win over her Egyptian opponent, Yusuf, scoring a pair of takedowns and 2 pushouts. In round 2, she used an aggressive attack to defeat Mongolia's Sevegmed 10-4. That was her 3rd round-robin bout that was most impressive indeed. She defeated a fellow 2008 Olympic bronze medalist, Wysek Kortis of Poland, 5-1. Miller fell to Wysek Kortis by pin in the first round of the 2014 World Championships in Tashkent, but this time she overpowered the Polish wrestler to reach the finals.
I don't need to win every match. I need to get better every match so I can be the best person when the time comes. And that's what I was just trying to do, keep a good pace, keep my skills right, and then, it turned out good for me today.
In the gold medal round, Miller scored on 2 pushouts for a 2-0 victory over China's Wang to finish first in the 152-pound division.
Things went well today. I had definitely different focal areas, but I still don't feel like I'm where I want to be. So that's what's kind of in my head right now. But you know, I enjoy. This is my first time at Systems, and I'm happy to win here and happy to take home the military worlds. It does mean a lot to me.
Claiming a silver medal in men's freestyle at 163 was former Division I All-American Sergeant Moses Fay of the U.S. Army. He opened up with an impressive 14-3 tech fall over Mongolia's Batardin before edging 2010 CISM military world champion Brzezowski of Poland 7-6. Now in the semifinals, he powered through Finland's Salinius with a 10-0 tech fall.
For my opponents, I felt like I just had a great warm-up, you know, had a good win over Mongolia, and I know that Poland was their Olympian. I knew he was going to be one of the tougher opponents at the weight, so I was glad to have that match early and get that out of the way.
In the gold medal finals, Fay lost a heartbreaker to Kazakhstan's Uzurbayev 10-7. Fay held a 2-0 lead at the break, but his opponent jumped to an 8-4 lead, a big one indeed, after a wild scramble early in the second period. Fay closed the gap late in the match, but was unable to catch up, giving him a silver medal at 163.
Well, I was working harder than him, but in the end, you know, he gave him out the win because I think he was a little more technical. So, you know, I can't say I'm always disappointed with the loss, but I mean, for my first season games, taking second place, I guess I can't complain.
Well, the U.S. claimed a pair of bronze medals in the women's division. Staff Sergeant Iris Smith of the U.S. Army is a 2005 world champ and also won a CISM World Gold in 2010. She finished with a 1-2 record in a loaded weight class at 165, getting the bronze. Sergeant Othello Ferraletto won her second career CISM World Bronze medal at 138, taking third in a 3-athlete round robin. 4 other Americans were also in action on day 2, including Specialist Jack Jensen of the U.S. Army. He was in battle at 213. Jensen won his first match over Kazakhstan's Aybuzanov 8-4. Now in the quarters, he was on the losing end of a controversial call in a close bout with a junior world silver medalist Kazashvili of Armenia and dropped about 12-2. When Kazashvili lost in the semifinals, Jensen was eliminated. The other 3 wrestlers lost their only bout of the tournament. At 275, Specialist Eric Nye of the U.S. Army fell to 2013 CISM military world champion Deng of China, the score 4-0. At 189, A1C Nathaniel Hartley of the U.S. Air Force lost to Kazakhstan's Davluambayev 13-1. On the women's side of the ledger, it was Captain Lee Provisor who was edged out by junior world silver medalist Caneva of Italy. The score was 4-3. Although they did not enter a full team, the U.S. women's freestylers placed third in the standings, and while the men, well, they finished in 6th. Again, we talked to Coach Sean Lewis.
We had six females, and out of those 6, we had 4 medals. So, and we had a champion. We had 2 in the finals. Whitney Condor, silver, and Randy Miller, she won the tournament. And we had 2 bronze. So the women came to represent pretty good.
Quick timeout. We'll be back after this short commercial break. Stay tuned.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because you know, I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
at Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Well, the third day of the World Military Tournament featured 4 weight classes in Greco-Roman, and the U.S. team came away with 2 more silver medals. We go to 145. First Lieutenant Bryce Sidoris of the Marine Corps put together a strong tournament indeed. Sidoris was an All-American for the Naval Academy collegiately before becoming an officer in the Marine Corps. He was also on the 2014 U.S. World Team that competed just a few weeks ago in Uzbekistan. Sidoris opened with a 3-1 quarterfinal win over India's Kumar, scoring a gut-wrench and a push-out. Sidoris controlled the pace in the semis, scoring the only takedown for an exciting 2-0 win over 2005 CISM world medalist Isra Filov of Ukraine. Now in the finals, he ran into the always tough Armenian Gevorg Sayakhan, who won the silver medal at the same event in 2013. Sidoris fell behind early and then was caught in the throw, ultimately losing by pin. We talked with Bryce following his silver medal performance.
It was a hard weight cut. Hard to get back into it just from trying to get settled back in with US's time frame and everything. So, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with the way I wrestled.
Well, Captain John Anderson of the U.S. Army was impressive at 165. Anderson wrestled collegiately for the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, then deployed overseas before returning to wrestling with the Army WCAP program. In his first bout, he fell behind 4-0 against Egypt's Abdu, but powered back to tie the bout 4-4 at the break. In the second period, Anderson countered a throw and pinned Abdu for his first win. In the semifinals, Anderson once again fell behind early to Ukraine's Piskov, but dominated the second period for a 5-1 victory. His final bout with junior world champion Shailen of Armenia was also a nail-biter. Anderson was down 4-1 but turned up the intensity, scoring on a push-out and a penalty point to close the gap to 4-3 before time ran out. We talked with John Anderson about his silver.
No one's going to give it to you. Everybody wants to win out there, but it takes another level. You got to dig deep, and I do that every time. That's something I think I do pretty consistently, but keep adding technique to it and strategy and put together Olympic gold.
Two-time Olympian and Sergeant Spencer Mango of the U.S. Army entered at 130, and just a few weeks ago he took 5th at the World Championships in Tashkent. Mango opened with a nice 8-2 win over 2-time CISM medalist Ragumov of Ukraine. In his second match, Mango was beaten by Egypt's Ahmed 6-0, but was pulled back into the repechage round where he scored a dominant 10-0 tech fall over Morocco's Fajari. In the bronze bout, Mango was ahead at the break against Kazakhstan's Zaganshav, but was thrown to his back and pinned in the second period, putting him at 5th in the final standings. We go to 156. Sergeant Joseph Foreman of the Marines won his first match 14-3. A tech fall over Brazil's Moreira, but lost in the second to Akram Bojalain of Algeria by a tech fall. The score 8-0, and then he was eliminated. U.S. coach Jason Lukitas talked to us about the highs and lows of day 3.
It was some real tough competition out there. Those guys really represented well, fighting hard. I mean, to make it to the finals of a world-level tournament is a great accomplishment. I was real proud watching them and, motivated. They were fighting.
Quick timeout. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, the SISM Worlds wrapped up on day 4 with 4 more weight classes in the Greco division, and the U.S. grabbed another medal on the final day. Staff Sergeant David Arndt of the Marine Corps returned to action at heavyweight after missing last year with an injury. In the quarterfinals, he scored a dominant 8-0 tech fall over Algeria's Sedani and then drew 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Mindaugas Minskaitis of Lithuania and lost in the second period by tech fall 8-0. With a medal on the line, Arndt scored 3 gut-wrench turns to defeat India's Naveen by tech fall 8-0.
I want to be on the top of the podium, not the side, so it was good getting back. I've been missing competing, had to do the whole rehab and stuff like that, but it's nice to get out here and wrestle with some of these guys. I mean, it was a lot of real tough guys here.
Specialist Pete Goranidis of the United States Army finished in 5th place at 2:13. In the first round, he lost to the 2014 world silver medalist Oliver Hassler of Germany. The score was 11-0 and fell by a pin in the bronze medal round to Kazakhstan's Ilya Naskuchink. The other 2 U.S. wrestlers were beaten in repechage, starting with the Master Sergeant Sherwin Severin of the U.S. Air Force at 176. He won his first match over Algeria's Benzenoun 4-1 and then dropped an 8-0 decision to 2-time SISM world champion Sishaman of Ukraine in round 2. In his repechage bout, Severin fell to Slovenia's Kuhar 9-0. We go to 187. A1C Nathaniel Hartley of the U.S. Air Force lost to 2012 Olympic bronze medalist Damian Janikowski of Poland 9-0. And then he fell to Algeria's Boudjine in the repechage by an 8-0 margin. In the end, the U.S. team would finish a strong second in the team standings behind only Ukraine. Once again, here's Jason Lukitis.
I knew we'd perform well. I'm happy with the medals. I know overall in all the divisions, the women's and the freestyle men's, that we lost a couple close matches that could have added to our medal count. And so next time we hope to prepare in a way that we can get all the medals we earned.
Well, UFC Hall of Famer and Dancing with the Stars contestant Randy Couture was featured in the opening ceremonies at the SISM World Championships and stayed the entire tournament to support Team USA. Couture was a wrestler for the U.S. Army right out of high school and was actually a SISM World Military Champion Greco-Roman for the U.S. He went on to become an All-American at Oklahoma State and made a number of U.S. Greco-Roman world teams before becoming a mixed martial arts champ and an actor. Here's the natural Randy Couture during the SISM Championships.
Well, it's actually on this base in Fort Dix in 1985 that I got my first chance to try out for the All-Army Wrestling team. I was successful in that and made the team, which led to qualifying for the 88 Olympic trials as a soldier and kind of started me down the road of being one of our national wrestlers to represent the United States in many, many tournaments.
Well, there were 2 special presentations during the SISM World Championships for top U.S. military leaders who will be retiring from service this December. Floyd Winter, who served as tournament director for the SISM Worlds and as a past U.S. Army wrestling coach, he was recognized by his former athletes and friends during the event. Randy Couture took the microphone and honored Winter, who was his coach in the Army. It was a moving moment for Winter, who was not expecting the presentation.
The night before, we all went out and had dinner together, and they said a few things as a toast, and I was very humbled by it, and I didn't know about last night. I did have a tear up there.
Van Stokes, a USA Wrestling Board of Directors officer and a longtime leader in the Armed Forces Sports Program, was also surprised with a special recognition just prior to the finals on the last day of the championships. Stokes was given a special gift and was thanked by the military athletes and wrestling leaders who were there in attendance.
It's been a very, very special part of my job in serving soldiers and serving families for my career. And when you have an opportunity to combine service to our military with this great sport of ours, I feel particularly blessed.
We'll take a quick time out. We'll have more when we return. Stay tuned.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, National Greco-Roman coach Matt Lindland was also at the CISM World Championships, helping coach and support the top senior-level Greco-Roman athletes. Two members of the 2014 U.S. World Team competed in the Greco-Roman division, and all team members are successful senior-level athletes. Lindland talked about the importance of the military program when it comes to the success of Team USA.
As far as the quality of event, this is a world-class event. This is one of the toughest international events there is outside of the World Championships, since a lot of the country's best wrestlers are already in the military.
One of the spectators at the World Championships this year, 2014 cadet world champ Mason Manville, who competes for Blair Academy in New Jersey. This summer, Manville won a silver medal at the Youth Olympic Games in Greco-Roman. We talked with him a little bit about his future in international wrestling.
It was just really a great experience. The people of Nanjing were very kind to us, and they treated us like we were like superstars, and it was really cool and a great experience, and really made me want to have that actually happen like in the Olympics, so I'm really excited for that.
Well, the National Wrestling Coaches Association has released more exciting matchups for the NWCA All-Star Classic scheduled for Philadelphia November 1st. It's 157. Three-time All-American James Green of Nebraska will battle All-American Ian Miller of Kent State. Green won a silver medal at the University World Championships last summer and placed second in the Senior World Team Trials at 154. We talked with the two college stars about the matchup.
I'm not sure how many matches will be wrestled, but it's kind of like a duel. You know, you're wrestling one guy, and it's not, you don't have to hold up, you don't have to wrestle the next match, so I'm just going to put it all out there, and it's just another day in the office, basically.
I don't have anybody I want to beat more than anybody else, so every match is the same to me. I don't have a guy that I'm gunning the wrestle, but no, I'm just gonna go out and wrestle every match.
Next, we go to 149. The battle there will be a rematch of the 2013 NCAA Finals. It will feature NCAA champ Jason Surtis of Northwestern and NCAA runner-up Josh Kindig of Oklahoma State. Surtis beat Kindig 3-1 in sudden victory of last year's NCAA Finals.
When school started, you know, you get a lot more excited, and you know, starting off with the All-Star Classic, I thought it's an awesome. It'll be an awesome challenge and experience for me to do.
Last week, we also brought an update from the men's and women's freestylers at the Asian Games in Incheon, Korea. Now let's take a look at the Greco-Roman action. Well, the first day at Greco-Roman, Kosi Hasegawa of Japan won his second Asian Games gold with a win at 130 over world champion Youngwon Chol of Korea. 2004 Olympic champion Jung Ji-ung of Korea won the 154-pound gold. Iran had two champions that day, Hibabola Igali at 176 and Madi Fizabadi at 216. Day two was a big one for host Korea. They had two big wins there. World champion Ria Han-soo was the champ at 145, and world champion Kim Hyung-woo came home with the Asian Games gold at 165. Also winning golds, Nuryakam Tanaliev of Kazakhstan at heavyweight and Rustam Askalov of Uzbekistan at 187. The Asian Games only come every 4 years, and this time was very competitive indeed. Well, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week contest. The pictures are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the country and are being considered for the USA Photo Contest in our magazine and our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's picture was taken by Senior Airman Ryan Thornberry of the U.S. Air Force, and it shows UFC Hall of Famer and former wrestler Randy Couture at the opening ceremonies of the CISM Military World Championships at Fort Dix, New Jersey. Have your pictures considered for our contest simply by emailing them to Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. From all of us at USA Wrestling, I'm Scott Casper, and thanks for watching.